Broadcasting live from the WGBB World Headquarters here in New York. This is the Big Fat Joey Show with your host, Big Fat Joey.
Hey, Sin. Morning, Big Fat Joey. Big Fat Joey Show. Biggest thing on radio. What's up?
Good morning. It's Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Happy Fun Day. Hopefully this week it's going to get warmer because it's still cold this morning.
Happy warm day.
Yeah, it's still a little on the chillier side out here today. Can't wait. It's beginning of March. Just can't wait for the consistent. I'm not even asking for truly warm weather, right? It's 37-ish yesterday. Today's supposed to be in the same thing, high 30s. I'm just looking for high 40s, low 50s right now.
I feel like this month is, it started, but it's dragging a little bit.
Yeah, I guess, it's the beginning of the month.
Right.
But hey, listen, just think, Christmas is 9 months away.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm talking about, when is summer? I'm ready for summer, sun in the fun, and I'm ready.
Well, you know what? Speaking of summer, speaking of sun in the fun, we got to speak with Shane Coopersmith from Bravo TV's Below Deck, also known as Sustainable Shane, and he's living the life in sunny San Diego, California.
Yes, it was so nice to catch up with another yachty, right? From Below Deck.
Great catching up with him, but even greater hearing about his mission on making the world sustainable, not wasting our natural resources, not polluting the air, land, and sea, and all of us doing whatever we can, whatever it may be, to help recycle and sustain our environment.
Well, I remember getting all these paper straws now when we go to Starbucks and recycling our cans. It's really important for the earth.
Yeah, I think the recycling thing, we have out here the little recyclable garbage can that you put out on Recyclable Day. It's given to you by the local government, and it's just made for just your recyclables. But there's been a much bigger push past couple of years on the paper straws, using little wood stirrers for your coffees at the at your local coffee emporium instead of the plastic stirrers.
Also, for the salads, you buy the salads at the store. It's not in styrofoam; it's in paper.
Right, biodegradable. I think a lot of it has to do with bamboo because bamboo grows literally like a weed. You cut it down, and a year later, the thing is bigger and better than it ever was before. Mm-hmm. So, Shane speaks to us about all things sustainable, as well as his adventures on the high seas on Below Deck.
I'm super excited. I cannot wait. And Shane was so sweet and fun.
He was awesome, fun. He played everyone's favorite radio game, This or That with Sin, right, Sin?
Yes, we had a ball.
We had a ball, got to learn a little bit about him. And then also on today's show, we have singer, songwriter, and rapper Najee Rayn. Najee comes out of Queens, New York. She is an up-and-coming artist who's doing her best to get her music out there. Najee's music packs a message of self-love and independence in her latest released single, Press Me, which we'll be hearing later on in the show. That came out, so make sure you pick it up on your favorite music platform. It's an upbeat track advocating the importance of taking care of one's needs and refusing to sacrifice personal well-being to please others. So we're going to be hearing from Najee Rayn and listening to her newest release, Press Me. But before we do any of that, who's up next, Sin?
Let's go, Shane.
All right, here's our interview with Shane Coopersmith of Below Deck, also known as Sustainable Shane. All right, everyone, let's welcome to the line a Below Deck alum, Shane Coopersmith, also known as Sustainable Shane. Shane, welcome to the Big Fat Joey Show. How are you?
Greetings. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for being on. I love your mission of sustainability.
I'm super excited to have you. Shane, I'm so excited.
Hey, what's up,
It's
Cynthia?
Cynthia.
I hope
How
I
are
have some
you?
fun today.
Good, good. We will have fun. And we were talking before, and you're in nice, warm Cali.
Yes, it is. It's not bad. It's not a bad life out here in San Diego.
No, I heard it very rarely rains, and it's pretty nice all year, right?
Yeah, there's some environmental hazards for sure. I mean, there's like wildfires that sometimes turn the smoke a little or the air a little red. But no, nothing to complain about here, honestly.
So Shane, let's get right into the nitty gritty. You are on Bravo TV's #1 show, Below Deck. How did that all come to be? Are you a boatie? Are you a yachty? How did you get on the show?
No, okay, so that's a great question. So well, first and foremost, I grew up as an environmentalist, right? Surfing, hiking, backpacking, camping, composting, et cetera, and I also grew up as a childhood actor, going on commercials, television. I love being in front of the camera. So I auditioned for Below Deck as the sustainability guy, and they bit, and we did the whole long casting process. It was like months on end, and they flew out to Florida for all this training, etc. And I know my way around boats. I grew up owning a boat, an 18-foot Sea Ray Bowrider 180. As like a wakeboarder and recreational boat, but I did not understand the world of yachting, and that was somewhat of a rude awakening, to be honest.
Well, it definitely is different. I had a 20-foot fiberform with a inboard, what was that, a Volvo engine I think I had? I forget. Yeah, I think of inboard Volvo engine on that. So, yeah, it's a lot different than, skipping around a little 20-footer, 18-footer, and, working on a yacht.
And you guys really work. Like, this is not just like hanging out, serving like drinks. Like, it's hard work.
Oh yeah. It was some of the most difficult days of labor I've ever done in my life.
I could see that. Definitely. Is there one thing that you learned from Captain Lee that you could take away and say I learned something and I'm going to use it, or?
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot of great things from everyone on the crew. A main takeaway I got from Captain Lee is to act on logic instead of acting on emotion.
Okay, that's good. That's a good one.
Right? That makes sense.
Absolutely. And would you do something different to this day if you were still on the show, or do you feel like it was enough and you're like, I'm done?
No, I think it was the right time, and I think everything happens for a reason. I was on the show for the purpose that I served, and then now I'm off.
No, I think that's true. That's a good answer. Absolutely. I feel that's true. Go ahead.
So what was, we talked about, owning a private boat versus what was the biggest shock to the system? You're on the yacht. What were you like, wow, this isn't my little 18-foot Sea Ray?
I think the biggest shock was just how many stories the boat was, and then just the sheer luxury and elegance of everything, with polishing the stainless steel and the gold trimmed bed frames and folding the toilet paper, and just it was just overboard. I was like, this is such a lavish lifestyle.
That's true. It's different than even going to a hotel. You guys had to do everything. I don't think those housekeepers do all that in a hotel.
You go to a
right?
hotel. That's it. People just wreck the room, but you're not serving them. You're not on top of it because you're basically living with the guests.
Yeah, I draw it up as a comparison of imagine if you rented an Airbnb, but it came with your own butler service. They were not only serving you food and cleaning up your messes, they were also taking you out on excursions and doing all the activities with you as well.
It must be exhausting. By the end of the day, it must be exhausting.
Yeah, I was pretty trashed. It was a lot of work.
And how about sleeping in those quarters? How do you even do that? Are you okay to sleep in those little spaces, or I don't know?
Oh yeah, I don't care. I'm not a high maintenance guy. I mean, okay. I grew up sleeping on the dirt, camping.
Okay, I could see that. And I know you like to surf, right? Is that like your on your off time? Is that what you enjoy doing?
Oh yeah, well I even brought my surfboard on the boat.
Yes, we
which I think was
saw
first
that.
for below deck.
That's
Yes, we saw that they had it stowed down below. Big Fat Joey's done a little surfing back in the day because we have a famous surf shop here on Long Island called Bunger Surf. This guy,
Nice.
this guy Charlie Bunger brought surfing, really to the mainstream in the early '60s, and his store is about a mile away from my home where I live here. So, surfing is fairly big on Long Island.
Yeah, what are the local breaks there?
You know what? Maybe 3 feet, 4 feet. But when everyone comes out is when it's the dead of winter or you're having the hurricanes, and that's when you get the good 10, 12 footers out here on Long Island. Otherwise, I mean, it's a decent day if you get some good breaks, but 3, 4 feet would be the average. But on a good storm, 10, 12 feet, and that's when the beach is just swamped and
packed.
And it's all over the news. Please don't go to the beach and surf. It's a hurricane. Get out of the water.
But everyone's out there.
Everyone's
they're like
out there.
Wetsuits and stuff, and especially like in Long Beach even.
Yeah,
right?
Long Beach is very big.
Surfer area.
Surf area. That's a little closer to New York City. That's a big surf area because it's a city on the water, just a city on the water. And so when we had Hurricane, what was it? Superstorm Sandy, about 9 years ago, it pretty much wiped out all of Long Beach. I mean, they had 5-6 feet of water through the whole town.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Well, I want to go out there and catch some waves one day.
Yes,
yeah,
you have to.
You definitely have to come on out. We'd all meet up, grab Colin.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, shout out Colin.
Yes.
He was talking about coming out to Malibu, and I was going to take him surfing.
So, I want to talk about all sustainability. Like, how did you get hooked up into that, and how did you start this whole mission?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was sustainable before I ever knew what the word sustainable meant, to be honest. Like I said, I was just camping, hiking, surfing, backpacking, whatever from a young age. And then to make a long story short, there was a local beach that I went to all the time. I saw people trashing it. So I went to the state park. I worked with them. I cleaned up the beach. I put up a sign. And then I saw that the beach became cleaner and safer. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I learned, I was like, wow, I can make a difference on this planet. So I decided to study at UC Berkeley. I majored in sustainability. And then following college, I was like, let's tie my media presence and my love for the environment together, because I think that's going to make a huge impact on this planet.
And, everyone needs to do that. I mean, I try my part, Sin tries her part, but one thing, and once again, this is before sustainability even became a thing, I hate litter bugs. Don't ask me why. In my head, I'll have a sandwich. I'll be walking the streets of New York, and the wrapper will be all greasy. I'll put it in my pocket if there's no garbage. I just see people throwing. For some reason, litter bug drives me insane. I don't know why. I mean, I do my best in other areas of sustainability, but for some reason, I've never liked people who litter, and I'm going to say I've probably almost never littered, at least on purpose. If something fell in my pocket, I didn't realize it, but I just when I see people do that, and here in New York, sometimes you see on the news and people know the responses. Well, it gives the sanitation department something to do. I'm like, really? That's the answer for littering?
Oh my God.
I said,
no, I think
that's just bad.
Well, good for you, Joey. That's awesome. And I hope you hold on to that, because it shows it's a respect is what it comes down to. If you respect your environment, if you respect where you live, if you respect others around you, then you're not going to trash it.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's something with me for life. I said I don't know where it came from, but it's been my whole life. I just, like I said, I'm not always the best in maybe doing my recyclables and things of that nature, but littering, that's one thing no one could ever say. He doesn't litter. He might not separate his cans from his plastics all the time very well, but the litter part, he makes sure that's a no-go.
What's a
Good.
typical?
It's those first steps.
What's a typical Shane day of sustainability? What do you do that we can all maybe learn something from?
Okay. I think sustainability is more than just for your planet. I think it also stems from yourself. So first and foremost, I take care of myself. I wake up, I get 8 hours of sleep, I journal, and then I usually read or look at some other source of information, whether it's listening to a podcast or like writing something down. Like I just start my day by learning something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I walk out to my garden and look at all the plants, make sure they're all chilling. And then, yeah, it like depends. And then from there, it's like, whether it be emails, working with various companies, doing podcasts like this. And then I usually fall asleep at a decent hour.
And how about, like, do you carry your own, like, paper straw? Or they have, like, the metal straws? Like, anything else in, like, that way do you do?
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything that you can think of I do it. I have my own little utensil kit with me that has straws and bamboo cutlery.
Okay.
I have the reusable bags. I have biodegradable plastic wrap. I even compost my hair and fingernail clippings. Like,
oh, really? What do you do with that then? What do you do with that?
Oh, well, compost turns into soil.
Okay.
Very good soil, mind you, which I then put on my plants, which grow even stronger and better. And then the scraps from the plants that I don't eat, I throw back in my compost bin, which then turns into soil and then feeds my plants and then feeds me. And it's like a circle.
I didn't even think about something like that. So do you have a huge canister of like you said, your clippings, nail clips?
No, that's just a very small portion of my compost. I just use it. I use it as an example to see that, like, to show people that you can compost even like your own parts of your own body, your hair and your fingernail clippings.
Right, as long as it's organic, it'll go.
I didn't even think of something like that. I learned something.
Mm-hmm.
I learned something.
Whoop, whoop.
And what's the biggest thing that like everyone else can do? Like one small thing that
How can people get started? How can someone who says, I want to help the planet, I want to be more responsible, separating cans, I just can't, I don't know. So what can someone do to baby step to start off?
I love this question. I absolutely love this question. And the best way to start is to get informed. And what I mean by that is go watch a movie that has to deal with the environment. Go follow some Instagram accounts, TikTok accounts where they talk about sustainability. Go read a book, whatever you want to do. Just like go learn about sustainability. And then through that, you're going to find out what you really care about. Whether it's, for me, it's the ocean and it's surfing. Mm-hmm. I'm all about microplastics and keeping my local beaches clean because like that's where I grew up.
Right.
If you grew up in Colorado, you're probably going to find out that, hey, you love forests and you love mountains. Whatever. If you grew up in New York, maybe you just love keeping the streets clean and you want to breathe clean air, so you want to make sure everyone's driving electric vehicles and picking up their trash.
That's true. That's true.
No, that's definitely, you need to be informed before you get into anything, be it sustainability, acting, being a yachty. Obviously, information is power.
Where do you see yourself Sorry. Where do you see yourself in 10 years, like with helping the environment? Where do you see yourself? Like, what do you think you'll be in 10 years doing with this? Like,
yeah. So I plan on being the next Bill Nye the Science Guy, but for sustainability. Okay. So I want to be in the school classroom with a series of educational environmental videos that teach like 4th graders and 5th graders about deforestation, climate change, how to be more sustainable, gardening, etc.
I think it's a great idea.
And, I've always been a big fan of. I watched This Old House. It's been on TV for over 40 years now. As a matter of fact, I've had a couple of hosts on my show, and throughout its iteration, they've obviously gone to sustainability. They're building houses now that the carbon footprint is just a fraction of what they were building even 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And what does Shane... Go ahead.
Sustainability isn't just like... I think at the beginning, people were like, oh, this is like foo-foo, and like, we don't need to be sustainable. Like, that's just for the hippies.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's becoming more mainstream because we're watching the damage that we're doing on our planet. And if you don't believe me with that, then like, whatever, you don't need to believe me. Talk to me in 10 years from now. But on the other part, it's more economical to get into sustainability because it's going to save you money in your pocket with just the amount of waste that you generate will be less. Gardening will save you money. Investing in clean energy companies is a great way to make some money. it's called clean tech. You can invest in environmental technology companies, and if you look at their stock prices, I'm pretty sure they're beating the S&P 500.
Yes, the environmental companies, and especially the EV companies, the electric vehicle companies, they're just rocking and rolling. With Tesla at 800 and change, you have all these SPACs coming out. It definitely is the wave of the future. Not that oil will ever go away, but it's another useful energy process that, you're going to have people who say, we don't need a gas combustion vehicle. Let's have the whole family drive electric vehicles. And the way Tesla and a lot of other automakers are making them, I saw the other day, there's Teslas that, they're top of the line Teslas faster than the top of the line Porsche.
Totally. And the sale in electric vehicles increased 44% last year globally. And in Europe, the sale of electric vehicles increased 120%.
Right. And there's a lot of manufacturers out there that have, different vehicles for the different segments of the market. There's a Canadian company that's doing a little three-wheeler for those who want to commute alone, because it's hard to do carpooling. Everyone has different hours, especially here on Long Island. As you know, in California, everyone's in their car. But there are definitely a lot of EV companies out there that hopefully have a bright future, and we can get off of gasoline and the oil consumption, and help the planet survive.
For sure. For me, it's all about bicycling, but that's another conversation.
Well, I was going to ask you, how do you get around? Do you have a Tesla or do you use a bike? I mean, the surfboard only goes so far, right?
Yeah, no, that's funny. No, I bicycle as much as I can. I take public transit a lot. I do have a car. I try to not drive it. But yeah, I bicycle a lot and take public transit as much as I can.
And even in public transit, a lot of them already went to compressed natural gas, but a lot of them are going to electric. The battery technology is getting better and better by the day, where you can get a full size metro bus, fully juiced for a full day's worth of work.
Totally. It's the future. We'll be listening to this podcast 10 years from now, being like, "Why didn't we invest in this company? Oh my god!"
Yes, I have a little.
Looking at one company. What was that we're talking about?
Which one was that?
It wasn't Tesla, but it was some other.
Oh yeah, so there's another company out there. They call it the Tesla of China. It's called NIO. So for public disclosure, I do own some shares of Tesla. I do own some shares of NIO, and there's another company, Electra Mechanica in Canada, which I do own some shares of as well. Just a little public disclosure for everyone. But I believe in the the EV market, and it's a great opportunity for people to not necessarily have a combustible engine. And I'm looking into getting possibly a Tesla for my next vehicle. Just trying to figure out what's the whole thing about. I'm a speed guy, so most of my cars are fairly fast. So obviously they suck up a lot of oil and gas, which is no good. But if I'm going to get something, and
Teslas look really good,
right? I'm saying they're if you get a pretty good top of the line one, you're going as fast as a Porsche. Not that I advocate speeding to anybody.
Totally. And the 0 to 60 on EVs is way faster than I think it's faster than most gasoline power cars, right?
Yeah, off the line because of the instant torque that the electric engines go to each wheel, because most of these vehicles have an engine for each wheel, and the torque is immense. And off the line, I think they pretty much take down any combustible engine. It's the top end where the torque starts to suffer, and that's where the combustible engine builds more torque at the top. So that's where they wind up losing. I saw a video the other day. What's that super exclusive luxury car? The Veyron. It's like a $2 million car, and off the line, who's it racing? It was another. I want to say, was it Tesla? But long story short, they were doing a drag race, and off the line, the EV car blew the $2 million car out of the water. But at the top end, the $2 million car barely beat it. I will say probably by 2 seconds, which in drag racing is a lot, but for $2 million versus maybe $100,000 and change, that's a big for 2 seconds. I'll drive the $100,000 and change car.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So what does Shane do for fun?
Okay, that's another good one. For fun, well, obviously, surfing. Surfing is the healthiest thing I do in my life, without a doubt, mentally, socially, and physically. For fun, yeah, I garden a lot. I love walking around, looking at the little critters, plants, and animals in my garden. I skateboard. I play video games. I just got a Nintendo Switch.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
Yeah. I play the ukulele.
All right. I didn't know that.
Can you play me some Tiny Bubbles from Don Ho? You know that one?
No, I don't. I know Somewhere Over the Rainbow is my bread and butter.
All right. Well, you know what? Look into if you're familiar with he's deceased now, but a famous musician / actor, Don Ho, out of Hawaii. Famous song, Tiny Bubbles.
Don Ho.
Yeah. Spells like it's,
right, I'll check it out.
Yes, definitely. But you know what? Speaking of fun, Sin has her and everyone else's favorite radio game to be played. This or that. Are you ready for a little game?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, Shane. I'm ready. So this or that, plastic straws or paper straws?
Paper straws.
Hand wash or dishwasher?
Hand wash.
Are you dirty or have clean energy?
Clean energy.
Of course. Tesla or Ferrari?
Tesla.
Sand in your sandwich or sand in your shorts?
Sand in my shorts.
I'm sure you have that a lot, right? Surfing?
Yeah, all the time.
Top bunk or bottom bunk?
Bottom bunk.
And lastly, spin the bottle or twister?
Ooh, twister.
Me too. Thank you.
Nice.
Woo.
Yeah.
We get to know you on a fun level.
I like that. This or that.
Now I know everyone's gonna want to know: are you single, dating?
Oh, I got a lucky lady in my life, Aubrey. She is. You guys all met her on Below Deck. She came in for a quick FaceTime.
Okay. Well, sometimes things happen within time, so that's why we always ask. Because I know everyone's gonna ask.
and obviously, she must be big into sustainability.
I would think so. Is she?
She is. She wasn't born into it, but she loves it and she's all about it.
Perfect. Good.
And what's so special about this lucky lady?
She is just like the most morally righteous person I know. She's like always out to do good for just humanity.
We need more of that.
Yes.
We need more of that. You guys need to have some kids and have some more of that. Get some kids going. We need more of that.
Oh, don't push it yet. No. He's young.
That's all right. So we can have a lot of kids. You have like 20, 30, 40 of them.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Oh, dude, I mean, it's Bill Nye. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
And you know, it's funny, too, because you mentioned Bill Nye. I used to love, his show, but also Ed Begley Jr. is a big sustainability guy. And I think they live like near each other, next to each other, down the block from one another in there in California. And Ed used to have a show years ago that I used to love watching. It was just great how his wife was all aboard with it. But she's like, really, Ed, could we just take a hot shower for once instead of a lukewarm shower or something to that nature?
Yeah, I actually met Bill Nye.
Oh.
How is he?
Random. I was working at a plant nursery, and he came up to the window to like ask for some advice about his plants. And I was like, oh my God, Bill Nye is asking me a question.
Right.
And yeah, he was chill. It was during the height of COVID in Los Angeles, so it was like pretty trite, you know. It was just kind of like here, there. I kind of like blacked out for the entirety of it though, and then like I came to after he left because I was just like so starstruck.
Of course. Now, how is it? We just brought up COVID, but how is it there in California? Because here we're still like, there's
semi-lockdown here in New York. We're still on. They're going to open up restaurants this Friday, 25% indoor dining. Otherwise, it's been outdoor dining here in Long Island and New York.
Yeah, I think it's similar around here in San Diego, and then it gets more strict in LA, and then San Francisco is much more strict.
Okay.
But luckily for us, there's a lot of outdoor activities. So
Yes.
it's, and like outdoor dining is more feasible just because of the climate. So it hasn't been too bad here in San Diego.
Well, you have like gorgeous weather every day. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. It is. Dude, randomly the other day, though, I was sitting at my desk doing some work, and it started hailing. I'm not even kidding. It started hailing, and then there was hail ripping through the petals on my flowers, and I was like devastated. I ran out there to save them, but I was like, when did this happen?
That is crazy. Well, here we're like freezing, snow on the ground
Yeah,
still.
we've had a couple of snowstorms in the past 10 days. I'd say in the past 10 days, we've probably gone somewhere around 20 some odd inches here on Long Island.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
tell me about it. I do all the shoveling around here. Trust me, tell me about it. It's no fun. What else does Sustainable Shane have in his goodie bag for us? What else is going on in your life? What else do you have getting ready to do?
Yeah, so right now I'm doing street interviews where I'm going around and interviewing the public and asking them just like simple sustainability questions. And it's really funny getting the responses from just all across the spectrum. People that know a lot about sustainability all the way to people that don't even know how to spell sustainability. So, I'm posting those on Instagram. I'm building a TikTok a little bit. And I'm just working with some other environmental companies helping like spread their products.
So you're kind of doing a little Jay Leno man on the street thing when he goes out there and asks people questions.
Exactly.
Well, I'm excited to see that because that's always funny, like you said, with the response. And you're like, how can you say that to some of these people? So it should be good.
Oh, yeah. I've got some videos up on my Instagram if you want to check them out. There's some hilarious ones.
That's really funny.
Now, Shane, how can my audience find, follow, and keep up with everything Sustainable Shane?
So it's super simple. I just got Instagram at sustainable.shane, YouTube Sustainable Shane, TikTok Sustainable Shane. I even got sustainableshane.com. So, like, find me anywhere on the World Wide Web or find me surfing in the ocean out here in San Diego.
All right. Well, Sustainable Shane, that sounds great. Everyone, please follow Sustainable Shane. Try to do your part little by little. Sustainable Shane, thank you for being on the Big Fat Joey Show. It's been a pleasure. I wish you nothing but luck and success in all that you do, especially trying to keep Mother Earth healthy.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on. It really means a lot, and thanks for taking the time out of your day. And everyone, stay sustainable.
Yes. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you, buddy. Speak with you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What a mission he is on, Sin.
Yes, I was so excited that he came onto the show to talk about his mission on saving the earth and recycling and sustainability. And I think we could all learn a lesson from this.
We can all learn a lesson. Like I said, everyone, if they can do a little bit. If you heard in the interview, I don't particularly care to litter. I'm not a litter bug. I hate littering. I mean, I could be much better in my, separating of my recyclables and things of that nature. But if we all do a little bit done by a lot becomes an enormous amount. So let's see what we can all do. And thank you, Shane, for your great mission and trying to keep Mother Earth healthy.
Yes, I agree.
All right, everyone. Well, up next is my interview with superstar rapper Najee Rayne. All right, everyone. Let's welcome to the line rapper Najee Rayne. Najee, welcome to the Big Fat Joey Show. How are you?
How you doing? I'm good. Excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you on. Thank you. I'm loving the new music that you put out the other day on the 15th of January. Your latest single, Press Me, came out. But you know what? I'm going to press you right now for some deets. Tell us about yourself a little bit, who you are, where you're from, what you're up to.
No problem. So my name's Najee Rayn. I'm from New York City, from Queens. And I'm a rapper, and I've been rapping since I was very young, got into it in high school, and it stuck with me. And I just have a real innate love for music and performing and just reaching and connecting with people through my music. And like, that's definitely like my thing. expressing myself through my music.
Well, you know what, and I'm a big believer in that. I've said this on the show numerous times. The most famous and successful musicians that I've come across are those that believe in the music that they're making. You know what? I'm sure, if someone came to you and said, "Hey, listen, let me pay you $1 million to make a pop music song." I mean, I'm sure you could do it. I'm sure it would come out well. But obviously, pop music isn't your true love. Rap music is.
Yeah, it's definitely rap and R&B. Like, give you a great verse and an even better chorus. That's me. Like, that's definitely something that, like, I always try to do. Like, I love rap music and I love serving you bars and giving you a nice hot verse. You know what I'm saying?
Now, where do you get your inspiration for your songs? Where do you find the inspiration? Is it from family, friends, life experiences? Growing up in New York and just being with the crowds?
Yeah, like I think a lot of my inspiration and motivation in general just comes from being from New York and being a part of New York City. I really grew up here, and all my experiences with my friends, my family, relationships in general, like that's really where I get my inspiration from, this environment, from just the type of environment that I grew up in, like this very like cold but still supportive, and I want to see you win kind of vibe. If you understand where I'm coming from, like. And I like to connect through my music in that sense. Like, I like to talk about how I like to make music for people that come from New York. And I think that, like, in general, like, being from New York is to be relatable, if that makes sense.
Well, you know what? If you just look at the annals of superstars, entertainers, musicians, singers, actors, actresses, New York is always in the mix. You read anyone's bio.
Yeah, like, Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, there's so many people, Nas, Nicki Minaj, like everybody comes from here. And sometimes that can definitely put a bigger weight on your shoulders and make you feel, sometimes I even feel like sometimes that made me scared to shoot for my dream because I have all of these big shoes to fill, or what seems like it is big shoes, because these people came from the same place as me. Even though I don't know them, I still feel so connected to them because they've achieved what my dream is. You get what I'm saying?
Right, and they're coming, from New York City. They're coming from the same ways of life. None of them, as far as I know, grew up wealthy. So they all were regular people who just had a talent and a passion, like yourself, for the music that they wanted to make. And they're, like yourself, very, very good at it.
Definitely so.
Now, in the whole music making process, what do you love the most and what do you dislike the most?
Okay, I like that. I like that you asked me that. Definitely for me, the most enjoyable process is just writing, and I feel like as an artist, for me personally, when you really do write your music and it's you deciding what you're saying before you go to that booth and record, it's like, like I love writing and I love to finish a verse or maybe finish a line and feel like, wow, like they're going to love that when I say that. Like, I just can't wait for people to hear this. And that's my personal favorite part about the writing experience and the music experience, because that is the reason I'm creating. It is to connect. So when I feel like while I'm creating, I'm already pre-connecting, it's like, yeah, like I'm ready. Because now I'm even more confident to go and record that song or that album or that EP, because I have so much confidence in the connection I'm going to bring to it. Because I feel like that's really where my music will thrive, with connection to other people, if you get what I'm saying.
No, definitely, because I know the songs I listen to, which I listen to, a whole cornucopia of different genres. There's always a song or two that you're like, yeah, if you can relate to it, and those are my audience who listen to my show, they know what I'm going to say next. There's one superstar.
Exactly.
There's one superstar out there who has made gazillions on writing songs based upon their love life, and that's Taylor Swift. And she's writing about what's happened to her, and then everyone else who's ever been in love and fallen out of love or what have you, Everyone in some way, shape, or form can relate to her music, and that's why she's done so well. And like you're saying,
yeah, and I feel like for the rap world, I kind of feel like Drake has done that, and that's something that I want to do for females in the rap industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of want to take the feminine side of Drake's music and make that mainstream too. Like, what if the things that Drake says sometimes in his love songs,
right?
What if it came from a female perspective?
Exactly, and being that's half the population.
Exactly, like girls want to hear that good music too on the radio that they can relate to. So,
and you've hit the nail right on the head. It's all about relating to the music. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, your background. If it's a love story and you've had that same issue, you can relate to it. I don't care.
Exactly, and I just think that's so dope about music. Like you can come from so many different places, but that one song could bring everybody together.
And that's one of the things I love about being in this industry. Music transcends everyone and everything. It, like I said, I listen to all different genres. Do I like music from all of them? Do I like everything from every genre? No, but I listen to rap, R&B. I listen to hip hop, pop music, classical music. Mm-hmm. I like what I like. I don't like every pop song out there. I don't like every classical song out there, but I do like a good chunk of it. I don't, same thing with rap. I don't like every song out there. I like what I like, but I like a little bit of everything. And what that does is just transcends, because you get to get a feel for what other people are doing and how they've come together and put the music together that they have.
Got it. I definitely agree. And like music is definitely all about connecting in that sense.
Connection is.
So like sometimes, people definitely just want a good beat and a good vibe. But most of the time, I feel like people are definitely turning to music for emotional connection.
Definitely for an emotional connection. And yeah, a good vibe, a good beat. Of course, everyone likes to tap their foot to a good song, but you're going to bring in more people once it becomes an emotional connection, because it stirs on memories and emotions that that keeps drawing you to the song. I mean, look at Mariah Carey. Every Christmas, all I want for Christmas is you.
Exactly.
Everyone who
Christmas.
Right. Everyone who celebrates that holiday. I mean, that's one of my favorite songs. Everyone who celebrates Christmas. I don't know anyone who doesn't like that song.
Same. I feel like it's universal. Like that became her holiday after she created that album.
Right.
As it should, though, because she created that connection, to Christmas through her. Like Christmas became a Mariah Carey holiday. So because she created that connection, that is why, It's why she's so big. It's amazing.
Yes, definitely.
She's one of my biggest influences. I really love Mariah Carey. I
enjoy her music. She's super talented, and she's a Long Island girl. Comes up from I want to say,
once again from New York.
yeah. She's from Long Island. I think Greenvale. I want to say, Greenvale, which is like Nassau County, Suffolk County borderline. So like the Huntington area, somewhere up that neck of the woods. I want to say she's from. So now, Press Me is your latest release, but you had your debut album that came out last year, The Total Package. Tell us a little bit about that.
The idea is that, so basically, I was, like I told you, I've been rapping since I was very young, but I hadn't released my own original music till 2020. So for so long, I was one of those rappers that just freestyled, that just, sometimes I was rapping on Instagram, Facebook. People knew I was a rapper, but I had no music actually listen to. I had no catalog.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was thinking about my stage name, one of the stage names that was considered was The Total Package, because when I was in junior high school and high school, I used to have a couple of friends who referred to me as the Total Package, meaning that like I was a smart girl. They considered me pretty, but I also had a dope personality. So like that's like the idea of being like the female total package, like having it all. So I named my album after that because I wanted to give a musical total package. I wanted to give that to my fans who had been sticking with me through freestyles over and over, to have an actual body of work that embodied my personality, struggle, music style, and growth. And that's where I created those 17 songs with an intro and an outro that explains why I stopped doing music and also the trials and tribulations that I dealt with just as growing up and becoming a woman in the past couple of years. So that's really what the album entails. But if you listen to it, like I have all different types of rap songs on there. I give you like a couple of mainstream hip hop girly songs. I got a couple of like radio commercial hits on there. Have a strong intro and outro that really just expresses who I am and why I love rap music and like why I turned to it after so many failed attempts at making music. In my opinion, I feel like I failed to make the music because there was none at a point. But yeah, like that album was really just me finding my sound and telling myself that now I'm committed and this is the total package and I'm the total package and I'm trying to give you guys the total package. So that was the whole point of that debut for me. Just come out running at the bat with a full catalog with the music that I could be proud of.
Well, it definitely sounds as if you are the total package because, you know, you're writing your own music, you're rapping, you're getting your music out there, you're working hard, and you're trying to get your name.
I'm trying very hard to get my music out. I know it's not the easiest thing with so many people that, you know, you don't know. And like nobody really talks about how independent artists get scammed so often and how like it's not easy to trust people in the industry because you don't really know anyone when you're out here without a label. So that's definitely something that I plan on paying it forward when I have the platform to talk to other independent artists, you know?
And you know what? I've spoke to an artist a few weeks back who's coming up on the show, and the same, like you're saying, you know, this isn't a regular job. It's not like your friend who, you know, let's say just works at Target. Oh, what's Target paying? Oh, $15 an hour. Oh, what are the hours? Oh, you got to work one weekend day, and then for part-time a minimum.
Yeah.
You know, it's not cut and dry. You know, there are artists out there, like you said, who are getting scammed, who are getting paid. You know, I'm making up numbers here. You know, $10 a song, and then another artist, same exact talent, same exact songs, getting $10 million a song. What's the difference? Well,
exactly.
One of them had, you know,
marketing, it's strategy.
Right.
Definitely.
And this artist I was speaking with, he was saying that, you know, he's older now. About 30 years ago, he signed a record deal, and he felt that he wasn't getting the right deal. So he went off and became an attorney. But then, you know, what happens? Obviously, he became an attorney and wound up just doing law work for 30 years. And now that he's 30 years older, he's self-funding himself, an independent artist. So he knows, you know, not to get scammed. And, you know, it's just that doing to have another person I've spoken with, same thing. They, you know, they took a break because they didn't feel they were getting, you know, the right deal. And now years later that they're doing very well for themselves financially. They're opening up they're going to self-label themselves and they're going to put out their own music.
That's awesome.
They don't need anybody.
Wow. That's really like such a goal.
Now, what else do you have in the pipeline for us? I'm sure you have other things going on.
So I'm actually working on an EP to release this spring as we speak. And that's where you get Press Me and the new single that I was telling you about that will be coming out this month. So I am working on a new EP that is a lot shorter than my debut mixtape was. And the reason why I'm doing that is because when I originally made my debut project, a lot of people told me that 17 songs was too much as an artist. But I still wanted to, because of the theme of my project being a package, and I wanted to extend my catalog, and I felt like I was behind, I made all that music for me because I knew that was going to be a phase that I would outgrow quickly because it was overdue. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No,
so
definitely.
even though I did drop that project in June, I'm ready within, you know, less than a year to drop another project already. And that's because it's a lot shorter this time and it's a lot more concise. And I do feel like I have really been finding and discovering my niche and my sound as an artist, like really where I belong and what's going to really take me farther and where I can really gain the most fans. And I'm almost done. I've actually completed the track list is done. I've bought all the beats. I'm just currently working on, you know, mixing and mastering and finalizing vocalizations and things like that. But I'm really excited to share this project with the world and with you because it's definitely going to show some growth in the last couple of months because I've changed my whole. I feel like you're going to be able to hear the growth and the confidence on this project much more, definitely.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Now, you mentioned, so what's the song that's coming out?
So the next song that comes out on the project is actually not, it's a promotional single. It's not on the project.
Okay.
It's called No Love. And then I have a third single that's the lead single from the project, and it's called Words Too Deep. And the project is going to be called NSA, for No Strings Attached. And the whole embodiment, just like the song Press Me, because I'm sure you've heard.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea for the lead single Press Me was, please don't get too attached to me. Let me have some space. And I created that song because I feel like as women, we are always seen as the clingier sex, I feel like. But I think it's very common for like men to be overbearing towards us sometimes. And I feel like there's not a lot of songs about how men can also be overbearing and sometimes be too attached.
Right.
So that's kind of the whole idea for my project is that I'm a young woman and I've dealt with relationships and doubt and things like that. And I'm here to let other young women know that you're young. You have time and you have time to make mistakes. You have time to change your mind. And that means that you can let a man go. You don't have to always be attached to the same guy. And that's basically like the vibe. Because I feel like when it comes to femininity and it comes to feminism, sometimes women, I don't know, I feel like we sometimes lose our freedom because we want love so bad sometimes. And I feel like that should I want to change that narrative of the love life of women. And I want us to be able to be more free openly and just be okay with just dating and getting to know someone and maybe saying, hey, I don't want to date you anymore. Leave me alone. Because I feel like so often women are settling and just feel like they have to do this and have to do that just because. I want girls to know that you have a choice. We always have a choice. So that's definitely what the theme of this next project is going to be, but definitely with like a great flavor and a great mainstream sound.
Well, and you are right. Both guys and girls, especially if you're young, you have plenty of time to sort out who you are, who you want to be with. You don't need to be tied down with anyone that's not vibing with you and, fulfilling what you need.
Yeah, like just in general, I just want people to know, like, you're free. You can go,
So tell me how my audience can find, follow, and keep up with everything rapper Najee Rayne.
So you can type in Najee Rayne on any social media platform and find me. But if you want to get more specific, for Instagram, my @name is Damn Naj. That's DAMNNAJ. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, that's The Real Damn Naj, which is still DAMNNAJ. And on anywhere else, YouTube, Facebook, Deezer, Audio Max, Spotify, Apple Music, all you have to do is type in Najee Rayne, RAYNE, Najee Rayne. Thanks again.
All right. Well, superstar rapper Najee Rayne, thank you for being on the Big Fat Joey Show. It's been nothing but a pleasure. I wish you nothing but luck and success in all that you do.
Thank you so much.
What a talented force to be reckoned with, Sin.
Oh my God, I am so impressed. All these indie artists really making music when there's like nothing on the radio. So I'm really impressed. Such talent.
She came across, in her interviews, she's looking to help others, and it's mentioned in the interview. This is not a business where, everyone knows what they're doing it, how they're doing it. This, you don't, it's not like we said in the interview, it's not like your friends work at Target. There's nothing set there. There's no set salary, no set hours, no set path to success. Everyone's path is vastly different. And, she's looking forward to paying it forward once she hits her stride. Well, speaking of hitting our stride, up next, we're going to be listening to her latest release, Press Me.
So don't you press me, and don't you stress me either, 'cause 'Cause I am not your girl, not my man, and I am not the one for you.
So don't you pass me either. You gotta fall back, leave me alone. I don't stress or need ya. I had to get back in my zone. So don't you pass me either. You gotta fall back, leave me alone. I don't stress or need ya. I had to get back in my, you need to chill. Just got back to these streets, maybe not on the track. It's rain on the beat. I like being discreet, like being a freak. Like be when we meet, till we up and up, till we up and up. I like a man who do what I say. I look when I play, he lay where I stay. I tell him to go, I'm giving him fever. He know that I'm cold, he know I'm so divine. Know I'm so damn fine. 24, not 25, I'm so alive. I'm so damn grateful you not staying for the night. You know I got the right, you know you gotta leave. You know you not my type, you know I'm tryna get some cheese, yeah. Here for the cheddar, yo, I put that on my bread. You wanna get up in my bed, I'm tryna see my family fed. I'm tryna see what's in your head, see what's on your mind. The body is so timeless, but I do not have no time. I do not like the ties, I don't like being checked. So don't you kill my vibe, and don't you ever get too pressing, don't you ever. So don't you pass me either. You gotta fall back, leave me alone. I don't stress or need ya. I had to get back in my zone. So don't you pass me either. You gotta fall back, leave me alone. I don't stress or need ya. I had to get back in my, let's make a deal. Let's make a plan. I'll cancel one time, then I'll cancel again. You act like you mad till I text you my pen. The body's a blessing, but I'll make you. Yeah, I love a man that know when to quit. Stand it for me and I'll stand it for me to call you a pick. I know what I want, that's what I get. I know you got a heart, you know I'm about to leave. You know this ain't my vibe, you know I like my freedom. If you call me, you're dumb. I don't answer, I don't text. If you want me that bad, then get next to me. 'Cause that's the best of me, that's the me. They never leave. I'm trying to see my next move, they wanna be my next boo. I'm trying to see what's in your head, see what's on your mind. Even if I hadn't, wouldn't really have the time. I do not like the ties, I don't like being checked. So don't you kill my vibe, and don't you ever get too pressing, don't you ever. So don't you pass me either. You gotta fall back, leave me alone. I don't stress or need ya. I had to get back in my zone. So don't you pass me either. You gotta fall back, leave me alone. I don't stress or need ya. I had to get back in my, I had to get back in my zone.
Now there's an upbeat song for you, Sin.
So much talent and so fun.
So much fun, so much talent. You know what, everyone, go out there, make sure you support our indie artists. Listen to their music, pick it up on your favorite streaming platform. Go out there, support your local record stores, and keep the music alive. Well, speaking of keeping things alive, I think I need another cup of coffee, because this one over here, I won't mention anyone by their name, Sin, keeps drinking my Java juice.
Well, let's go get some.
All right, everyone. This is Big Fat Joey. Big Fat Joey Show. Biggest thing on radio here with Sin, reminding everyone to
make every sandwich count. Peace.